Hi all, I thought I'd do something a little bit different today, and just talk a little bit more about the actual pack opening side of Pokemon and collecting. Anyone knows that it's fun. It's a great thing to do for a bit of fun and yeah, no, enjoy that chase to get stuff. Today I'm going to be opening a vintage potential Shadowless pack, and what I really want to highlight is for those who are not in a position where they can just sort of open packs willy nilly. They don't have necessarily their own stock. It's not going to cost them, a lot to do it themselves. Because a lot of you guys seeing YouTubers and seeing other people making content just ripping thousands of packs and stuff like that. Which I think there's two things. It takes a little bit away from the fun side of it. Hence why I obviously try and open packs a bit slower. Everyone's done it where they've sort of just run through packs to try and get the hits. And actually, really, that's a very small addiction, and that can turn into something that makes it not fun, and just ripping just for chase cards. You're just gambling. And what I wanted to do with this video is highlight exactly what it's going to cost if you just go and try and chase a hit. You could get lucky, but over a course, there's a reason why there's a market price for certain things. So I wanted to do this video. Look, it could turn out good, but it also could turn out not to be fruitful. So for me, it's trying to get the balance of not just your wins but also your losses. Hopefully, it goes to plan, and it showcases. But ultimately, I'm going to open a vintage Shadowless pack, and it's weighed at 21 grams, vintage Shadowless. So you can see it on the camera there. Yeah, so it's 21.02 grams, and it's potential Shadowless because of this little icon there. And obviously you've got the differences with the trading game cards not being up the top. And it says 11 tradable game cards. So that's what I'm going to be opening today. But the thing is, they're not cheap packs. And at the end of the day, unless you're doing it as a bit of a business, bit of a side hobby, and you're just doing it for fun, I wouldn't recommend opening them, because especially with vintage stuff, they could be, they could be resealed. There could be a lot more risk, and the condition ultimately, unless you're coming out of a box straight up, sometimes is a little more difficult. It's good to keep sealed because they're always going to retain their value. So the longer you keep, but if you're actually going to go to rip them like I'm going to do today, there is that element of risk there that one, these packs are 50-50. They could be shadowless, could they not? I've pulled other packs in videos that aren't shadowless, and some don't have a hollow, which again, you can claw some money back with grading and keeping good cards and selling like really good cards. But if you open them, they're all conditioned, all the corners are beat up, then it's a big loss, really. For a lot of people that will take quite a long time. So I just wanted to really explain that, and I'm going to do a calculation that whatever happens with this pack, and I'll maybe do one more to show that actually what is the cost gain for ripping, say, two packs. Vintage potential shadowless, it is a potential risk. I do have other vintage packs and stuff like that are heavies. That's what I sort of collect as well, but I'll keep for a long time because they're only going out of they're only getting more ripped, and also they're just getting there's a finite amount of them. So as that supply goes down and down and down, yeah, they get more in demand. Hence, like, box prices now are crazy. So for me, also, I wanted to just educate those, not just a younger audience, but an audience that maybe sometimes you're getting a little bit hold of, or it's getting a hold of you a little bit, where maybe you're opening something you probably shouldn't be. And a good rule for it to keep disciplined is only open something you can afford to open. So don't lie to yourself. If you can spend the money on the pack, a pack of a £800-900 pack, and you can do it, just understand that you might get £100 back. So as long as you're okay with that and you know that you can afford that, never open packs to try and get the chase. If you're in the position where you have that excess, you can do it for fun and to try and make money out of it. But ultimately, don't forget you are gambling. So I don't want to take the fun away from it, people. But what I also don't want is people getting themselves in a bit of a hole where the new set comes out, or they think they're going to make money from just ripping packs, and you've got to be very, very lucky. So I was extremely lucky to pull in a potential pack opening. I did a potential shadowless pack. I opened pulled a Charizard, but it's very unlikely. It's not come back from grading yet. But I'll share that with you guys. It's probably not going to be a 10, so it's not going to be a money back, and that's pulling the best card. So if I pull something that's unlimited out of this pack, for example, and it's not shadowless, straight away you obviously margin's gone down, and obviously you can get some of them graded, but an unlimited card in average condition or good condition is nowhere near going to be what the pack's worth. So I just wanted to highlight that to people before I get into the ripping side, and I'll do some more. But I really want to help people. You know, I want to help you guys that are out there, or you're just getting into the hobby, or you've been in it for a while, but you don't want to, you know, make anything change. You know, you don't want to make it less fun. And I saw a YouTube video the other day of someone opening the pack. Well, a very well-known YouTuber, and they was just opening packs. And they were just literally trying to get the hits, and it didn't make me feel very good when I was watching. I was thinking that guy in the beginning has sort of he's lost his way a little bit. That he's sort of no longer opening for that fun. He's always trying to get that next thing. You know, so I think just get back to the basics, enjoy collecting what you want to collect, and I'll do some more videos about what I personally enjoy collecting and stuff like that. But obviously, yeah, today we'll get right into it. I'll stop rambling on, and see what we can pull. But this has got two chances, I suppose, really. The potential to potentially get a holo of Unlimited, the Unlimited base set. These are from 1999, and they're potentially shadowless. So this element, because it doesn't have a long crimp, what it basically means is that it's basically potential shadowless, and it doesn't guarantee anything. So more likely I could pull Unlimited base set, and there is a very small chance that I could pull the best card would be a shadowless Charizard, for example. But again, it's unlikely. So I just want to do that to establish that there's a lot of risk involved when you're opening something like this. But let's get into it anyway, because I'm bored of myself talking right now. So let's see what we can do. I'll try and show it as best I can. It looks like not a bad rip. So. And I try not to ruin the surprise for myself, so because I like to see whether it's shadowless, so you guys are going to see before I will whether it is or it isn't. And obviously you're looking at the condition of these cards, whether they are or they aren't. So let's see whether, and looking at the back, looks not bad at the back. So I'm going to do the card trick. So I'll put 3, 1, 2, 3 to the front. And then that should be the holo at the back. So let's have a look. Are they unlimited or are they shadowless? Do you know what? They're shadowless. They are shadowless cards, baby. Let's go. So I'm very, very happy about that. The fact that we've got a shadowless. I'm trying to get out of the light, but there's shadowless cards here. So these shadowless Kakuna we've got to start off with. So I'm buzzing about that, because for me, anytime you're pulling shadowless cards and they're in good condition, it's really fresh pack. So I'm really already buzzing about that. You know, for me, that is a good one. I know I was saying this could go badly, but to be honest, I'm already up because I love shadowless cards. I love first edition cards, so we're already on to a winner. So the shadowless, the fact that they don't have the unlimited shadow here, and also down the bottom here, if you can see that, it's got, you know, an extra little 99 in the symbol. So if we pulled a holo here, I'd be losing my mind right now. So, but you've got to be in it to win it. So we've got Kakuna. Oh, we've got a banging War Turtle. That is really nice. I'm definitely going to get some of these graded because these are in good condition. Really good condition. War Turtle is a really good pull as well, shadowless. So this is, I'm living the dream right here. And this is 21 grams, this pack. So it's potentially, so it's heavy. You know, anything sort of 20, 29. I put the Charizard at 20.95. Depends on the box size, but it really does depend. But these are clean cards coming out right here. So, you know, there's some potential PSA 10s in here, which I'll put the values on. You know, got a nice Duo. I'm so buzzing about this video. Magnemite. The light's annoying me. I'm just trying to improve my setup so you guys can see a bit better, really. Got a Bill. Let's go, Bill. Got a Rattata. Let's go. Next one. Squirtle. So we've got a War Turtle and a Squirtle shadowless in the same pack. I'm having that. Blastoise, we call it a god pack, I think. But no, not quite. So let's we should have an energy. We've got a lightning energy. These cards are really clean. These are like this is probably the best pack I've actually opened vintage in a long time. So I've got one more here. Energy. And are we going to get a Pokemon trade or a holo? Let's see. Was it a heavy pack? No, it was a Pidgeotto. So to be fair, all right, it wasn't the holo I was looking for, but the rare is a Pidgeotto. So that just gives you an idea that, look, we've got some great shadowless cards in there, but even though it was 21 grams, it wasn't technically a heavy pack overall because we've got the rare is not a holographic. I would have loved it to have been a holographic, but ultimately it wasn't. But yeah, nice Pidgeotto. But the War Turtle right there, I'll be honest, that's a banging card. So for me, beautiful Pidgeotto as well. I think I'm going to get all of these graded, to be honest. They're all very good. That one's slightly off center, but that's the sort of thing you look for. So you look that if you look at the Pidgeotto there, it's just slightly off center on the centering, just on the left hand side, it's a tiny bit smaller on the border, and that's what the centering is. This border, if it's not matching up exactly with the other side, that's going to slightly affect it when you're grading cards. And grading cards is something what you do to try and increase the value so they're authenticated and they're graded on condition. Because obviously, if you've got a beat up Pidgeotto that's, you know, in really terrible condition, it's going to be worth hardly anything if you try to resell it compared to something that's in mint PSA 10 condition, for example, or Ace or whoever. So yeah, but that's just to give you a good example that I've took the risk there. It's not too bad. Probably lost a little bit even by the time I get them all graded, but it wasn't catastrophic. So yeah, it just gives you a bit of an idea that, look, that's another shadowless pull, which I'm very, very glad about, but it could be unlimited and then it would have been a big loss. So just something to bear in mind, guys. And yeah, hope you enjoy that little run. But another shadowless pull we've got. So yeah, I'm not complaining about that anytime I'm getting it. So yeah, I'm enjoying doing it, but I like building it up. I like having that whole bit of fun around it, and yeah, we'll see what we can do in the next one. But yeah, stay tuned and keep you guys updated. So that's that. I'm gonna leave it right.